You've seen it happen and probably felt confused. Why do women chase men who seem indifferent? Why does disrespect spark obsession instead of rejection? Why does distance feel more attractive than affection? It's not about low self-worth, not always. It's not about bad boys, not exactly either. This dynamic runs deeper, rooted in human psychology. It's tied to self-esteem, trauma, and identity hunger. Many women mistake emotional chaos for emotional chemistry. They interpret coldness as mystery, not emotional immaturity. They chase men who mirror their unresolved wounds. They crave validation from someone who withholds connection. This isn't about blaming women, it's about understanding cycles. Men can learn this too, to stop manipulation. Let's explore why women get addicted to indifference and how to break this powerful emotional pattern. Indifference creates emotional hunger mistaken for real attraction. Part 1. Emotional unavailability feels like a challenge. Emotionally distant men spark curiosity, not clarity. Their silence makes women fill in emotional blanks. She imagines depth where there may be none. Mystery becomes addictive, like chasing unfinished puzzles. His detachment feels like emotional strength to her. She thinks, he must be complex or guarded. But often he's just emotionally lazy or avoidant. Still, her mind makes his coldness feel meaningful. Women often confuse uncertainty with emotional depth. If he's unavailable, it must mean hidden value. It becomes a challenge to earn his love, and the chase becomes more important than connection. This obsession is never about knowing the man. It's about what he represents internally to her. She doesn't love him. She needs his approval. It's an emotional high she's addicted to chasing. Now let's understand the psychology behind that addiction. Part 2. Emotional scarcity. Triggers a survival response. The human brain craves what feels just out of reach. When someone pulls away, we pull in harder. It mimics childhood wounds where love felt inconsistent. She learned to fight harder for emotional scraps. When men act cold, it triggers deep memory. She thinks love is earned through suffering, sacrifice. Her nervous system associates stress with emotional closeness. That stress becomes familiar, almost comforting, though unhealthy. The unpredictable reward keeps her brain hooked longer. Sometimes he texts, sometimes disappears, sometimes shows care. It's a loop. Dopamine spikes, crashes, and restarts again. Just like a slot machine, addictive and damaging. She thinks, if I try harder, he'll change. But his behavior reinforces her sense of inadequacy. And still she stays, chasing the next emotional hit. It's trauma bonding, disguised as romantic intensity. Let's go deeper into why confidence looks cold. Part 3. Women mistake. Avoidance for emotional strength. Detached men appear strong because they show restraint. They don't text back quickly or overshare emotions. They move slowly, act indifferent, appear unfazed always. This creates the illusion of emotional maturity. Control, she thinks. He's not needy. He must be powerful. But emotional unavailability is often a trauma response. Avoidant men fear closeness, so they retreat emotionally. Their distance is protection, not actual confidence or depth. Still, women confuse detachment with emotional self-mastery, especially if they're used to emotional chaos growing up. His lack of care feels like earned approval. When he finally gives attention, it feels like gold. But what feels rare isn't always real. His silence isn't wisdom, it might be avoidance. And her chase becomes about healing past rejection. Not real love, not mutual emotional connection. But what about the men who give everything? Part 4. Why nice guys often finish. Last emotionally available men don't trigger emotional urgency or confusion. They text back, they care, they're consistent daily. There's no chaos, so there's no addictive high, but there is emotional safety, often misunderstood as boring. Some women confuse stability with lack of passion. If she's used to stress, peace feels unnatural. She may feel uneasy when treated with kindness, because real love doesn't mimic her past patterns. Nice guys become invisible to women craving adrenaline. Not because they're wrong, but because they're emotionally healthy. She hasn't healed enough to accept that love. So she runs from it and toward emotional danger. Ironically, the man who values her gets ignored, while the one who withholds attention becomes idealized. It's not fair, but it's deeply psychological. We chase what feels familiar, not what's good. Now let's talk about the male role here, a part 5. Some men manipulate this dynamic on purpose. Some men know exactly what coldness can do. They weaponize silence, delay replies, act disinterested intentionally. They withhold affection to build psychological dependency patterns. They offer breadcrumbs, just enough to keep her hoping. These men aren't mysterious. They're strategic emotional players. They understand intermittent reinforcement keeps women emotionally addicted. They don't commit, but won't let her go either. It's control, not care. It's manipulation, not love. She mistakes longing for loyalty and pain for passion. He keeps the power by staying emotionally unpredictable. The more she tries, the less he offers. It creates a cycle where she never feels enough. He becomes the mirror of her self-doubt, and each emotional rejection deepens her internal obsession. It's not chemistry, it's psychological control in slow motion, and many don't escape until they're completely drained. Part 6. The role of unhealed wounds in attraction. Unhealed wounds make toxic love feel like home. She's not broken. She's just emotionally miscalibrated inside. Her heart wants affection, but trauma chooses intensity. She confuses emotional instability with deep soul connection. If her father was distant, emotionally or physically, she may chase men who feel just like him, not to suffer, but to finally feel seen. She's recreating pain, hoping it ends differently now. It's not conscious. It's emotional muscle memory running things. Her body remembers what her logic tries to ignore. The coldness isn't exciting, it's just tragically familiar. Healing means learning love should feel safe, not earned. Until she heals, she'll keep choosing emotional harm. Not out of weakness, but because it's familiar comfort. Breaking this cycle takes deep, conscious inner rewiring, and it starts with recognizing patterns without shame. Now let's explore what a healthy bond looks like. Part 7. What real emotional connection actually feels like. Real love is calm. It doesn't rush confusion. It feels safe, warm, grounded, and emotionally mutual. You don't guess where you stand each day. You're seen, heard, and supported without earning affection. He communicates clearly, consistently, without emotional manipulation games. You're not chasing highs. You're building trust brick by brick. There's no withdrawal used to punish your vulnerability. Your emotions are welcomed, not weaponized against you. It doesn't feel like a movie. It feels better. It feels like exhaling after years of survival. No games, no masks, no performance, just being loved. You're not fighting to be chosen. You already are. The right love calms your nervous system instantly. It's not boring. It's peaceful, healing, and growth-focused. You rise together instead of emotionally breaking apart. And that's what women actually deserve and need. But how can women break the toxic cycle? Part 8. How to break the pattern for good. First step, awareness. Know when it's trauma chasing. Notice when chaos feels more exciting than calm. Ask yourself, do I feel loved or addicted? If it's pain-driven, it's not love. It's survival. Start therapy, journaling, or deep self-reflection work. Unpack childhood wounds before they become adult patterns. Forgive yourself for falling into familiar pain traps. You weren't wrong, just trying to feel whole again. Second step, redefine what you call attraction. Choose men who show up fully and consistently. Value emotional presence over mystery and mixed signals. Remember, healthy love won't require guessing games ever. Third step, slow down in new relationships always. Let actions, not chemistry, prove emotional compatibility and readiness. You deserve peace more than temporary emotional highs. Real love begins where healing and wholeness meet. Men also play a role in changing this. Part 9. What men can do to create change. Men stop copying toxic models to feel powerful. Withholding love doesn't make you more desirable, just harmful. If you want real love, be real. Show up fully, not strategically, to manipulate response. Lead with strength, but also emotional presence too. There's nothing weak about being kind and expressive. Real confidence is secure enough to be vulnerable. The cold act is just fear dressed in ego. Stop rewarding pain-based behavior in dating dynamics. Don't chase approval. Chase connections based on mutual respect. Communicate clearly. State intentions. Uphold emotional boundaries gently. And don't punish women for wounds you didn't cause. Be the calm space she never knew existed. Lead with love, not games or detachment. Earn trust, not obsession, and keep it sacred. Because you deserve real love too, not addiction. So what's the final truth beneath this pattern? Part 10, the truth behind this addictive dynamic. Women don't love being treated like nothing. They're just addicted to what feels emotionally familiar. When love means pain, they keep chasing pain again. But deep down, they crave something very different. They want presence, protection, peace, and partnership. Not confusion, distance, silence, and emotional starvation tactics. They chase the cold man to feel worthy, but that worth must be built from within. Real love never feels like a survival test. It feels like a home you can exhale in. No performing, no pleasing. Just truth and safety shared. And once she experiences that, she never goes back. To every woman, you are not your trauma. To every man, lead with grounded emotional strength. When both heal, love stops being addictive chaos and becomes what it was always meant to be. If you've been caught in this kind of pattern, know this isn't weakness, it's trauma echoing unresolved. But your future doesn't have to repeat your past. You deserve connection, not confusion, clarity, not craving. Men, don't mistake cruelty for charisma or power. Women, don't mistake coldness for mystery or depth. You both deserve love that heals, not harms. Let awareness be the start of something better.